Okay, welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're taking a plunge into something, well, absolutely essential for anyone navigating conversations in English. How we actually talk about how we feel. Because let's be real, while I'm happy and I'm sad are, fine starting points.
They are, yeah.
The human experience is a little more complex than that, isn't it?
It really is. And for you listening, especially if you're maybe an intermediate English student wanting to sound more natural,
Yeah.
unlocking a wider range of these phrases isn't just about vocabulary. It's really about expressing yourself with more precision.
And connecting better, right,
It's
authentically.
connecting authentically with the people you're talking to.
Exactly. So for this deep dive, we've been looking at excerpts from a script. It's focused on natural ways to express emotions in English.
Right.
Our mission today is basically to explore these phrases together and help you feel more confident putting your actual feelings into words, beyond just the basics.
Yeah, moving beyond those simple labels. We're going to move through different sort of common emotional territories,
Okay.
pulling out the specific phrases that native speakers use all the time.
Yeah.
The ones that make your English voice sound, well, like you really feel it.
Love that. Okay, let's jump right in. First area the material covers. Feeling happy or positive. Now, instead of just saying, I'm happy, which again is fine,
Totally fine.
the source gives us options like, I'm in a great mood, or I feel amazing right now.
Also, I'm super excited about this.
Yeah, what's really interesting here, I think, is how these phrases add layers like, I'm in a great mood.
Right.
What does that suggest?
Well, that suggests a state, doesn't it? Something that lasts a little while, a sort of general feeling of positivity.
Right, whereas I feel amazing right now.
That captures the intensity, the feeling in this moment. It's more immediate.
Got it. And then there are phrases like, I'm looking forward to the weekend, or I feel proud of myself. Those seem to tell you why someone's feeling good.
Exactly. They point to the source of the positive emotion. We also saw, I'm calm and relaxed, which is a very specific kind of positive feeling.
Like peacefulness.
Yeah. And then broader ones like, I had a great day, I'm full of energy today, or everything's going well so far.
Using these just provides so much more context. Like, everything's going well so far implies your good feeling comes from how things are generally progressing.
It paints a much clearer picture than just, one word.
Definitely. So for you as a learner, adding these to your toolkit immediately makes your descriptions richer, more specific.
Absolutely.
So, okay, after feeling good, sometimes things shift. Let's talk about those times when we're feeling less upbeat, maybe sad or low energy.
Right. The down times.
What does the material give us here? Things like, I'm feeling a bit down today.
Yeah, or I feel off.
And I just need some quiet time, or it's been a hard day.
That phrase, I'm feeling a bit down. Such a classic natural phrase, isn't it?
It's softer than just, I'm sad.
Much softer. It describes a low mood without maybe the full intensity of sadness. And I feel off. It's wonderfully general.
Yeah, perfect for when something just doesn't feel right, but maybe you can't quite name it.
Exactly. The list also included things like, I feel emotionally tired.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And I'm not in the mood to talk right now. I feel like I need a break. And I'm not feeling like myself.
These seem to do more than just describe a feeling. They sometimes communicate a need, right? Or a state.
That's a great point. Saying, I'm not in the mood to talk right now, clearly tells someone you need space.
Polite but clear.
And I'm not feeling like myself. That's a really key phrase. It tells the person you're talking to that this low mood or energy level is unusual for you.
Which is important information for how people interact with you then.
Definitely. Oh, and I had a rough morning. That gives a specific, very relatable reason for maybe why you're low on energy.
Right. Makes sense. Okay, let's talk about something else many people experience. Feeling nervous or anxious. How do we put that into words naturally?
Yeah, the jitters, the stress. The source gives us, I feel anxious about tomorrow, or I'm kind of stressed right now.
And that incredibly common one, I have a weird feeling in my stomach.
Yes. This really highlights how natural English often uses physical descriptions to talk about emotions.
Like a metaphor almost.
Exactly. That weird feeling in my stomach is a metaphor lots of people use for that physical sensation of dread or nervousness.
Okay. Other phrases like, I don't feel ready, or I'm scared I'll mess up, they seem to pinpoint the cause or the fear behind it.
Precisely. They pinpoint the specific cause or the fear that's driving the anxiety.
And then there are the phrases that capture the mental side of it, right? Like, I can't stop overthinking it.
Yes, or I'm not sure how it's going to go, and I keep imagining the worst.
Oh, that's a common one.
Very common. Plus, the practical response is often included, too, like, I need to take a deep breath.
Right. So using these phrases lets you describe the whole experience of anxiety, the physical stuff, the mental loops.
And even the coping strategies,
Yeah.
rather than just labeling the feeling as nervous.
So for you listening, this is how you move from just saying, I'm nervous, to truly expressing how you are nervous in a way people will understand and, relate to.
Absolutely. It fosters connection.
Okay. Sometimes, though, things just make us mad. Let's look at feeling angry or frustrated.
Right. When things get heated.
The phrases here seem to start with variations in intensity. I'm really annoyed versus, that made me so mad.
Yeah, you can really see the spectrum there. Annoyed is usually less intense than so mad.
And I can't believe that happened. That sounds like it combines disbelief with the frustration or anger.
Often, yes. Disbelief about an event, which leads to the anger. This section also includes some really common idioms and stronger expressions.
Like what?
I'm frustrated with the situation. I feel like no one's listening. It's driving me crazy.
Driving me crazy. Classic.
Total classic. And even, I just want to scream. It also includes phrases for managing the feeling.
Like taking action.
Sort of. Like communicating your need to manage it. I need to cool off, or I need some space.
It's driving me crazy is such a fantastic example of a common idiom for intense frustration.
It really is. And I just want to scream. It vividly expresses that feeling, that urge to release frustration, even if you don't actually plan to scream.
Yeah. And those phrases like, I need to cool off or I need some space, they seem really key because they communicate your needs to others when you're feeling overwhelmed by anger.
Exactly. Helps prevent things from escalating, potentially.
Good point. But what happens when your feelings aren't so clear-cut? When they're messy?
Yes. The material acknowledges this with a section on mixed or confused feelings.
Okay. What falls under that?
Phrases like, I don't even know how I feel right now, or just simply, it's a mix of emotions.
I feel confused.
That too.
Yeah.
This is so important because life is complicated, right? Feelings often aren't simple.
Definitely. So phrases like, I'm excited and nervous at the same time, or I don't know if I should be happy or worried, they directly name the conflict.
They do. They name the conflicting feelings, which
Yeah.
is incredibly useful and relatable for listeners.
And sometimes you just need to say, my emotions are all over the place.
Or, it's complicated, or, it's a lot to process.
Well, I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, these are essential because they give you a way to express that you're in a state of flux or you're still trying to understand what you're feeling.
It's a lot to process. Seems perfect for when you've received overwhelming information, maybe it's emotional news or something.
Exactly. They acknowledge the difficulty in just labeling the feeling, and they communicate that you're, working through it.
Right. Okay, finally, the source provides a kind of grab bag section, other natural emotional phrases.
Yeah, ones that cover a range of states that might not fit neatly into those main categories we just discussed.
What?
Things like, I'm emotionally drained, or that really touched me.
I'm feeling overwhelmed.
And I need a moment to breathe.
Emotionally drained. That feels really specific. It's different from just being physically tired, isn't it?
Completely different. It describes feeling empty or exhausted, specifically by emotional experiences or interactions.
Okay. And that really touched me.
That's how you describe being moved, perhaps by kindness or powerful moment. It's about a positive emotional impact.
And I'm feeling overwhelmed. That's just a common practical phrase for when you feel like you have too much to handle.
Yes, whether it's too many tasks or too many emotions hitting you at once, very versatile.
Okay, and there were a few more in this section.
Yeah, things like, I feel so grateful, and I'm mentally exhausted.
I'm really enjoying this, which hopefully you are listening.
Oh, boy. Also, I feel like crying, but in a good way.
I know that feeling.
Right. I'm smiling for no reason. And that lovely one, that made my day.
Notice the distinction again. You mentioned emotionally drained earlier, and now mentally exhausted.
Good catch.
Mm-hmm.
One is about your emotional capacity, feeling depleted emotionally. The other is more about cognitive effort, thinking too much, brain fatigue.
Got it. And phrases like, I feel so grateful, or that made my day. They're just lovely, concise ways to express strong, positive feelings tied to specific events or appreciation.
Exactly. And I feel like crying, but in a good way, is just a perfect example of a slightly humorous, but very natural, very human way to say you're overcome with positive emotion.
Yeah. So for you, the listener, maybe that intermediate English student we mentioned,
Hmm.
incorporating these kinds of specific phrases is really a game changer.
It really is.
It lifts your English from just functional to truly communicative, right?
Mhm.
Allowing you to express the subtle shades of your feelings.
And connect with others on a deeper level. It makes your English voice sound authentically yours.
Using this varied language, it shows confidence, it shows fluency, it just makes your conversations much more engaging and personal, I think.
Completely agree.
So what does this all boil down to? I guess expressing your feelings is just a fundamental part of human connection. And having these natural English phrases gives you the power to do that effectively and authentically.
Well said. And the material we looked at, it suggests a great next step for you listening.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Choose, say, 3 new phrases from this deep dive that really stood out to you.
Okay, just 3.
Yeah. Phrases that maybe describe something you feel often, but perhaps didn't quite know how to say in English before.
And then don't just choose them, right?
Right. Make an effort to actually use those 3 phrases in real conversations this week. Or maybe write them down somewhere you'll see them.
Practice saying them out loud, too. Maybe even try to imitate how we said them here, just to get the rhythm and the intonation down.
Definitely. The more you use them, the more comfortable and natural they will feel coming out.
And remember that final thought from the source material, which I think is a really great one to keep in mind.
What's that?
Your feelings matter, and your English voice does too.
That's perfect.